Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 8 of the podcast. Holden is dead. Yeah. So I got Grayson on as kind of a filler. So
Hello.
welcome back, Grayson.
It's good to be back.
Forgot to set a timer. I always forget to set a timer.
Oh man.
It's fine.
Whatever, we got it. It's all good. But yeah, Holden and buddy Jared are out in I think Arizona right now. So have to make with what we've got here. So
Yeah. Fuck you to everybody who said no.
Yeah, Owen said that he asked like 7 people and they all said they couldn't do it.
They all happened to be busy. Well, I guess I started off by like the first 3 people I asked. I was like, "Are you free at all this week?" And they all said they're doing midterms or some shit. Not midterms, but like
Really? Yeah, I get
studying for exams or whatever.
Same.
And then the last 3 people I asked, I was like, "Okay, I should have just said the week because I was free the whole week."
Right.
But I was like, "Are you guys free on this day?" And then they were like, Grant said maybe up until yesterday. And then just a couple other people. Oh well, got Grayson on.
Yeah, that's 7 people all said I couldn't do it, so that's crazy. But
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know why I admitted that, but because it feels like I'm a loser.
you're not a loser. You run the Bagel podcast. It's your show, dude.
It's my show.
Well, you've been on the most episodes out of everybody.
It's true, barely. I appreciate that. Our buddy Nathan as well is in West Virginia.
Oh, really?
So shout out to that loser. I was gonna get him.
That would have been a great shit talking.
Yeah,
podcast.
it would have been.
Yeah.
Nathan is a loser if you guys didn't know.
Owen and Nathan. Well, really just Owen will
Nathan.
Well, I'm saying like Nathan gets ridiculed by you like more than anyone because he used to be just like the punching bag of everybody. It was just like whatever. But we started to like fade away from doing that, and then it was just you doing that. So it's just you doing that now. Nathan is a good sport about it though because he doesn't even like fight back.
He's not. Are you kidding
me?
me?
What do you mean?
Okay, he might have been a good sport when you guys were like picking on him, but when I do it, he's kind of a mingy little prick.
Well, now we feel bad for him because it's like it's really only you, and it'll be like, "Hey guys, because he's in the military, so it's like, hey guys, I'm getting shipped off to whatever." Like, oh, fucking whatever. It's like, what the hell, dude?
Do not say what I said to him.
I don't remember what you said to him exactly. But... Oh wait, I think I remember. Yeah, it was. You could probably imagine.
Probably not the greatest thing to say.
Probably not.
Especially in these times.
He's a good sport though.
Yeah,
it's definitely. Well, this is before the whole.
No, I think it was during.
What? Okay, that makes it a lot worse. Whatever.
Oh well. But no. Nate, he eggs me on a lot too.
He does. Yeah. He really asks for it.
He does it on purpose a lot.
He's such a nerd. Like even going through the military process like changes you, roughs you up a little bit.
It did not change.
Put some lead in your pencil. It did not change him at all.
A little bit. He got a little, but not much.
Yeah, he's a little bit like more. I guess he's a little bit more mature. But he's still a nerd. It's like a nerd that just kind of grew up.
So, I had a little bit of a topic of discussion that I didn't really want to talk about on this episode because it's just us two, but I guess I could talk about a little bit since I'm not having as many people, but it's just a dumb debate because I was thinking about it at work last night, just between like the 3 big shows or big channels we watched growing up, like Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and like comparing the different shows on each of those networks. I'm gonna rule out Disney Channel immediately, just because they're great.
Yeah.
They had the probably best live action out of the 3, but just the cartoons they only got Kim Possible, Phineas and Ferb, Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Well, I think if you throw in Disney XD, but that came in a little bit later. Yeah, I think we were in I think 2nd or 3rd grade when that came out. So and that had more cartoons, but it was really just like reruns of older stuff.
Yep.
So.
I will give them this. Their Mickey Mouse stuff is really good. Ducktales in particular is probably the best example of having a great original show and a great reboot.
Yeah.
Both were great shows.
Yeah,
I actually watched the reboot with my brother like several months ago, and I was like, oh, this is actually surprisingly good. Cool. I didn't expect it to be that good, but yeah, it was good. But yeah, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon have way better cartoons, and that's kind of where Cartoon Network lacks is the live action department.
Well, it's Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that's true. But 2 particular shows that are very similar, and I love them both a lot. And I've been watching one a lot recently, is why I bring this up. Is Avatar on Nickelodeon and Adventure Time on Cartoon Network. I've been watching Adventure Time recently.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
And their lores are really good. The way they are both kind of goofy shows, but have very serious undertones that you don't understand as a kid. And they're both phenomenal. But
yeah. That's I think I really liked I didn't watch a ton of Avatar growing up. It would be on and I'd tune in occasionally, but
I was kind of like that too, and then recently I watched it.
Yeah, I think I watched like the first season with like my girlfriend at the time. But I didn't keep watching it. It was really good from what I did see, but I'm kind of busy, so it's hard for me to work a show in there. Which honestly, Avatar's an easy one to watch because the episodes aren't that long.
Same with Adventure Time. Adventure Time even shorter episodes. They're 11 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So
Adventure Time's because I think definitely in my childhood I watched Adventure Time a lot more.
Adventure Time, regular show, all that stuff on Cartoon Network. Ninjago is really good too.
Ninjago was really good.
It's actually surprisingly
the lore was shockingly like in depth because you learn about all the characters. Like was it Zane? He was like that was I remember watching
the biggest plot twist ever.
That was insane. Like that was sorry for anyone that hasn't caught up on Ninjago.
Dude, I love Ninjago.
Ninjago was awesome. The Green Ninja.
Yep.
Lloyd Garmadon.
My dad fucking called it. Like we were all watching it.
He's the Green Ninja.
Dude, yeah, we were like debating. I was like, it's Cole. And my brother was like, it's Kai. And then my dad was like, Lloyd is, because he has a green shirt and it says 5 on it, and he's the 5th member. I was like, what?
Wow, I never even caught on that. Yeah, that's insane.
We all like called him crazy, and then when it was revealed,
dude, he's a little kid. He's an evil. He's like
that was a fun show to watch.
Yeah, he's like the comedy relief character.
Yeah, he was
for a little
even
bit.
When he became the Green Ninja, he kind of was still up until he grew up.
That's like if they revealed that Jar Jar Binks was really the chosen one instead of
or like the rumors that he's like a Sith Lord.
Yeah, which would have been hilarious. Like, or not hilarious, but actually, like, I guess it would have been hilarious, but also pretty fun.
Yeah, be interesting.
Yeah, that's Yeah, I really liked like those few shows that had like some lore in them.
Have you caught up on Avatar all the way, or
no?
Did you stop like right before season 2, or?
I don't even remember the last episode I watched. Honestly, I think I got through the first season, but I didn't. Okay. I didn't catch up on it entirely.
We could watch a little bit about that after this podcast if you want.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. If I can remember what I watched last, and that's because it's one of those shows that it's like you could probably come back to it a little bit later.
Absolutely.
Catch on to it, so.
And plus, book 1 is good in its own right, but book 2 and 3 are a lot better.
Okay, cool.
A lot better.
Gotcha.
The series gets better. In my opinion, a lot of people like book 2 the most, but I like book 3 the most.
Okay.
But that's just me. And my favorite character, Zuko, has probably the best story of any character. I'm not going to spoil it. But...
Okay, yeah. No, I think I've probably caught on to it a little bit just from being on the internet, because it seemed like there was a time period where like everyone was watching Avatar for some reason.
It came back to Netflix.
Yeah, because it came back to that's why. Yeah,
that was late 2020. Or sorry, mid 2020. Like in summer 2020.
Yeah, I remember, because everyone at work was like, dude, you're watching
And Grant texted me, and I was like, oh shit. So I just binged it, and it was really good watching it, because I never had watched it start to finish before. I just watched like bits and pieces growing up.
Right.
Watching it start to finish felt so good.
Cool, yeah.
I'm doing that right now with Adventure Time, because once again, I watched bits and pieces, and now I'm watching it in full.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched Adventure Time, like binged it.
Adventure Time's a little bit different though, because Avatar is like chronological with the way it goes. Adventure Time, it has one story arc, but that's like the future of something, and then they talk about the past of it in a future episode. Yeah,
I remember like specifically like the backstories on like Marceline and the Ice King.
Dude,
were like
that's probably the best.
Ice King was like, because he was like again that like comic relief character that they like go into, and it's like, holy shit.
Voiced by Tom Kenny.
Yeah, Tom Kenny. This is tragic.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
Dude, yeah, that's probably the best story, like the best developed characters. Marceline and Ice King in any cartoon show. Yeah, I'd say, just because it's so like out of nowhere, first of all,
right?
And just like, especially because they delved more into Marceline in another show. They're doing another show, and it's pretty good. From what I heard, the reviews were good. And Ice King as well. Just the fact that he had like dementia or whatever.
Yeah, it's
basic
insane.
The equivalent of dementia.
Right. Yeah, like the psychosis of it all. Yeah, that's Yeah, I don't want to go too deep into it because it's really good. It's really well done.
It's really sweet. And I recommend it. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, that's interesting that you mentioned like the jumping around of like time events because it reminds me of like the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
but
I was thinking that too.
but rather than like it being written like that, it was like the executives like put this episode out and then put this episode out, and it's like the first episode that you actually watch is in like season 2 or 3 or something like that. Like if you're gonna watch it chronologically.
Exactly. The Clone Wars. Both Cartoon Network shows, by the way. Clone Wars eventually put on Disney, but that's when the Disney bought Star Wars.
Right.
But yeah, the Clone Wars is another great show.
Yeah.
But
I was watching that like over winter, probably like November, December around then.
Assuming you finished that one.
I didn't actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, no. I had like the whole list too of like the episodes to watch like in order.
Mm-hmm.
I just like I don't know. That was I think because that's when I was like classes were over, I think, but at that point I was just spending a lot of time just hanging out.
Yeah.
So just utilizing my time. But oddly enough, when I get into class, that's usually when I like watch media and all that more. Because usually on those breaks I like to hang out and all that. So.
Yeah, makes sense. I think my favorite arc in Clone Wars, it's tough. I like the Maul arc.
I didn't even get to that.
Spoilers, he's in the show.
I know that he's in the show, yeah. Well, I remember not watching the show as it came out, because like I would occasionally, it's again one of those shows I would occasionally pop in, and I was like, oh my god, Darth Maul didn't die. It's insane.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like.
You kind of gathered that?
Yeah, I kind of figured that like he.
Have you seen Solo?
No, I haven't seen Solo, but I know that he's in that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you saw Solo before Clone Wars, then you probably already figured that he's alive.
Right. Yeah. You're like, wait a minute.
But yeah, I like the Maul arc. I also like Domino Squad. I think you've seen Domino Squad, right? Because that should have been early on.
Domino
thing.
It's
with Fives, Echo.
Yeah.
All
that one's
guys.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And it like humanizes the clones.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
I really like that. It really like.
The Bradley Baker's phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that was a really good arc.
Mm-hmm. And then also the Umbara arc. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I think so.
General Krell. The guy who took over for Anakin. He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That was really good. Bunch of real life, like, don't know the word for it, real life examples in the Clone Wars, like throughout the show, like just like in wartime as well. Like it showed that even on Umbara, that was a separatist controlled planet. And the Umbarans or whatever they are, they were separatist leaning, and the Republic went after them because they were like that, and that's what you see a lot in history. Like, especially during the Cold War, you see a bunch of like even the United States, they see like a communist regime and they take it because they hate communism.
Right. Yeah.
And like Umbara, like it reflects off Vietnam so like well, like the way they write it, but especially because it's like unknown terrain and all that. Yeah.
It was it was really good from what I've seen. I definitely need to go back and watch that. That's the thing with me in like shows that I don't watch a lot of shows.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because like I don't know, like some shows captivate me and I'm like I want to watch that, but
definitely
it's hard for me to like. First of all, I see a lot of people watching the same thing, and it deters me from wanting to watch it.
Yeah, the
like
popularity type deal.
Like when Squid Game was really popular.
Oh yeah,
it was like I don't even want to watch this anymore because it's like I see. For me, it's like I don't like being like the hipster or whatever that doesn't like conform to what everyone's watching. But I just feel like if everyone's watching the same thing, it's hard for you to be like it's hard for you to think about it yourself because you're constantly like. Looking at everything else.
Exactly how I see it, and that's how I need to. I had that type of mindset during, even though it was a long time ago, Breaking Bad and Walking Dead. I still haven't seen them because of the Breaking Bad and Walking Dead, not Walking Dead as much, but Breaking Bad is still popular to this day, and people talk about it.
If anything, it's growing more and more popular.
Exactly, and that's exactly what keeps pushing me down to keep not wanting to watch it. But I should definitely watch it.
It's a good show. I mean, I kind of like I watched it sometime in high school, I think. Probably junior year. I think that's when I got into it. But yeah, it was a good show, and I think it helped because I didn't like you didn't see all like the memes about it like that you do now.
Yeah.
So I could watch it and enjoy it on my own without having to compare what I was watching to what other people had been showing me. So I definitely gravitate more towards like niche things as
Makes
opposed
sense.
to what's super duper popular now.
Yeah,
So.
and I kind of resonate with Disney in that aspect because if you look at once again going back to the big three channels, Disney was definitely the least popular.
Yeah,
And I
oddly
feel,
enough, even though it's like the most profitable
yeah,
business.
and even talking to people in our friend group, they talk about Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon shows, and I
Mhm.
bring up like a obscure Disney show, and
Like
what the-
Recess or something.
Yeah,
Like,
Recess.
what the hell is Recess?
Dude, Recess is
What?
so good.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was awesome. Do you
And
remember?
I can only talk to you about that type of stuff because you're the
Yeah.
only one who watched that.
Yeah, I at least delved or dipped my toe in the water with that. What was the one show I was thinking of? Or do you remember like Jetix or whatever? Like back when
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it wasn't a show, but it was like the block I think that they would have where they would show all sorts of like cool
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to describe it,
I
cool
think,
stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Disney shows, even like with or like 90s Nickelodeon.
Mhm.
We grew up in 01 and 02, so we are kind of in between millennials and Gen X or Gen Z, not Gen X, not the late
Not that
80s.
old.
But so yeah, we kind of like our friend group's kind of divided on what we've seen. So like a lot of people haven't seen like 90s, like late 90s show like
Mhm.
Rocket Power or
Yeah, which is a good show.
Rugrats. Well, Rugrats is kind of more so than Rocket Power.
I think I saw a lot of people watch Rugrats at least.
Hey Arnold,
Hey Arnold
all
was
that
good.
stuff.
Well, yeah, because I remember when what was it that they did? They brought it was like what's the one Nick like sub channel or whatever?
Nick Jr.
Or it's like Teen Nick, and they would do. Not Nick Jr. It was Teen Nick, and they would do like a block at night. It wasn't like Adult Swim. I think it was
Nick
called,
at Night.
Was it? No, it wasn't Nick at Night. That was the main Nickelodeon.
Okay.
I think it was called. Was it called Splat? It was something where they'd show old '90s Nickelodeon shows. But yeah, no, I would watch that a lot. So that's how I started like getting into Hey Arnold and Rugrats and all that.
They would honestly come up as reruns for me. That's why I watched it.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Yeah,
maybe I watched what you were watching. I forgot what it was.
Yeah,
called.
I forgot what the name of it's called. I think it's called Splat or something. I could be dead wrong. But
yeah. All right. Say that again.
It was cool.
All right. Cool. Sorry about that. So yeah, we were just talking about Nickelodeon and stuff. Let's think for a second. I had something in mind, but I forgot it.
Go ahead.
I was not paying attention. Fuck.
Let's see if I can think of something. Yeah, I think definitely like we were on the edge between millennials and Gen Z, so we got exposed to a lot of, I would say, millennial shows just growing up.
Definitely.
And had kind of our own because like I think it was us that, and I think it's emblematic that shows like Ed, Edd n Eddy were around during like when millennials were kids and ended kind of in our childhood. So it definitely shows that there was definitely a crossover from millennials to
for sure.
Gen Z.
And there's a lot of stuff like that. Boy Meets World's kind of early 90s. It's kind of like Friends of Disney.
Yeah.
And then Girl Meets World came out. I never saw that.
I never.
But I can't think of anything else. I don't know why my brain's fried right now.
No, you're good.
And then like I keep diverting back to what I was going to say, but I keep forgetting what I was going to say.
Like I was saying.
I remember. So also with a bunch of like old shows like shows on Nickelodeon and Disney, like a bunch of old cartoons, not old cartoons, old for us.
Right.
Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, that stuff. If you watch them now as compared to when you were a kid, you're like, oh, funny stuff as a kid. As an adult, they'd have some subtle jokes in there every now and again.
Some innuendos, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Or funny to watch, not necessarily sweet. But...
It's sweet. God, he was talking about his wiener. I didn't even know.
No.
How sweet.
Or like Cosmo being a misogynist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's... Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What's the one scene I'm thinking of?
Like, why would
she's
you?
A woman.
Yeah. Why would you want to be? Why would you? Oh yeah. It was the one with all the dads, and he's like, "Your world's perfectly fine the way it is. Why would you want to add a woman to it?" Or something like that.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. You definitely don't pick up on those things when you're a kid.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, it's funny when you look back though. Yeah, because you definitely, like, imagine if they made a show nowadays where they said something like that. I don't think it would, especially on a kid show.
Oh, definitely wouldn't fly nowadays. And that's why I think, obviously, every generation thinks this, and I'm hypocritical for saying that because I hate people that say that, but I'm about to say it.
Yeah.
But new TV is trash, and everybody says that about every generation.
And you're like, well, and then you say it's like, no, it's right because I said it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was watching like old YouTube channels like 2008, 2009, and they were like they were fucking boomers, not boomers, but they were like Gen X type millennials, Gen X and
late millennial
in between that type, and they were like, oh, new TV is trash. Like, what the hell is Adventure Time, a regular show?
Piss off,
This
dude.
crap is terrible. They need to go back to like Rocket Power and all that stuff.
Man, I can't believe that Ed, Edd n Eddy is still going on. The show went downhill.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, buddy.
And we say the same thing about like Fairly Odd Parents and SpongeBob.
Right. Yeah. Which I do think that they've made changes to those shows that make them not as good.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Well,
opinion.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And another thing is that each generation like grows its own voice. So the gen I just explained, like in between X and millennials, they said this 12 years ago because they were finding their voice as adults. They were becoming adults at the time.
Yeah.
Now we're becoming adults, so now we're saying this thing.
We're saying it, yeah.
And then in like 10 years from now, people are going to say that like, oh, I loved freaking Over the Wall, whatever that show's called.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I don't really know a lot of shows that are out.
I just
not kid shows.
I saw a commercial about it in like 2018. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Well, the thing is, what's funny is that I would say the vast majority of modern Cartoon Network shows that I've seen were like crap. Like I remember watching Clarence, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Uncle Grandpa.
Yeah, Uncle Grandpa, which was like funny because it was, I think, a spin-off of Secret Mountain Fort Awesome, which came out when we were kids, and I think like third grade around that.
Yeah.
It came out around the same time as Regular Show. Obviously, Regular Show was a lot better, so that's why I kept going. But Secret Mountain Fort Awesome was just kind of that potty humor and crap that I guess we were into for, the short duration that it was around. But I can look back and say that show sucked ass.
Absolutely.
Uncle Grandpa just was, I despised every time it was on, dude.
It was so bad, dude.
It was, like, I saw people wearing...
You already know, in 6 years, people would be like, Uncle Grandpa's my favorite show.
The hidden genius of Uncle Grandpa.
Yeah.
I saw people wearing Uncle Grandpa shirts in, like, middle school, and I wanted to punch them in the face. I was like, why the hell would you watch a show that fucking stupid? But now I'm just
now those people are high school dropouts. And
yeah, Pizza Steve really spoke
and I have 3 kids.
Yeah, I think...
Pizza Steve.
Pizza Steve. Yeah, but one of the shows that was actually good that I watched was We Bare Bears. I gave that one a shot, and I watched it a little bit. And I was like, this show's actually really good. And like, I don't know. I thought it was one of the few good ones.
I did see like an episode of that, and I did think at the time like the distinguished personalities of each bear is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Because like the grizzly bear is like more eccentric, I guess, and then the panda bear is like more aware, I guess, and then the polar bear is kind of like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I watched like half an episode, but that's what I saw based off that half episode.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought, I think there's definitely going to be shows that are, that kind of shine as opposed to others. TV as well is just kind of dying out, so...
It's true, because they're just focused on streaming services. And that's what old TV shows that we watched growing up, that goes for everybody, every generation. TV shows that you watch growing up, they're all on streaming services now, so you can watch them anytime you want, so you don't have to complain about new TV anymore.
Right, because you don't have to... I don't even have cable anymore, so it's not like I can watch those, so... I guess, when I had cable, it was like... I don't know, you'd see Cartoon Network and you'd be like, man, I see what they're airing, and it's not that great. And I think that Boomerang for a long time was really good with what they aired. And then there was a period of time where it was like, here's shows that are literally still airing. Like, there's still new episodes of this coming. I was like, this is not what Boomerang is about. That Boomerang comes back to you. You throw it out, and it comes back. You've barely let it leave your hand.
That's the best thing about Boomerang, too, because it had shows that were from literally boomers. Like, they had Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry. Like, that's fucking ancient.
Exactly.
And that, by the way, still ages well. That's also for every generation.
Yeah, Flintstones, Jetsons, Looney Tunes, all that.
Yeah, all that. And then they also came out with new stuff like Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab,
like Cow and Chicken.
Hong Kong Phooey.
Hong Kong Phooey, dude. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a bunch of stuff. Huckleberry Hound.
Huckleberry Hound.
I almost said Huckleberry Finn.
Huckleberry. Yeah. I was about to finish you. But, yeah, Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
It's like no, they did not show
quite.
Huckleberry.
Not
Finn.
quite. Because that's also a bit different too with the way they wrote that, or with the way he wrote that. Mark Twain.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Mark Twain's a funny guy.
Genius writer. But
Yeah.
definitely didn't age well.
Yeah. It's a funny guy though.
I guess he didn't anticipate in 200 years from his life that cancel culture would be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark Twain. What a guy. Yeah. They read. I think they. What did they read? In second grade. It wasn't Huckleberry Finn. I don't think it was like the sequel.
Tom Sawyer.
What?
No, I said Tom Sawyer.
No,
No, that's with Huckleberry
was
Finn.
it Huck and Fitch or something?
Huck and Fitch? That doesn't sound familiar, but I think you might be onto something.
I might just like be making shit up.
You could be making shit up. I keep bumping the table. Oops. That's not gonna pick up on the mic, by the way.
Okay, good. You just hear. That's the sound it makes, right? I guess we'll find out. But yeah, I think Boomerang was good for some time, and then they started airing crap that no one cared about, or I didn't care about.
As do most networks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they are nowadays. Obviously, they don't have cable, but yeah, no, there's cool stuff. I remember they'd show like Pokemon. They can't do that now because they don't own Pokemon, unfortunately. Well, I don't give a shit. Whatever. I have every season on like DVDs.
Every season of Pokemon?
Almost. I think I don't have Pokemon Advanced, but I have like everything on DVD.
Oh, you don't have Advanced?
up through 4. That's
there
the only
we
one
go.
missing.
Okay.
So I don't have like
I was gonna say, yeah.
I don't have everything.
I was gonna say you have 5 through 7, but you don't have Advanced.
Like, yeah, no. I stopped at 5. I stopped watching.
Yeah, that 5 is when it got downhill.
Yeah.
I love Black and White and I love Unova,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't stand the show.
Yeah, the show's bad.
At that point, I could barely stand Gen 4. I mean, I didn't mind Gen 4 because it still had Brock.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when I kind of stopped tuning in. Was Gen 4. Gen 1 through 3 is
classic.
Yeah. You lose Misty in Gen 3, but
yeah,
still good.
Yeah.
May's a good replacement, and then Dawn, and then fucking
Iris and Fire is not a good replacement. And I didn't like Cylon replacing Brock.
That was
because it felt like they had at least developed like Brock and Misty when she left, and like May and Dawn had their own thing, but yeah, it felt like was it Cylon? Like he was just like, let me make a food pun every 5 minutes. Like really, and then Iris was just. I mean, I could say that she's annoying. It's been said a million times, but
I'll give it this. With Ash as a character, at least through Gen 1 through Gen 6 X and Y, it looks like he's getting older.
Yeah,
that's good.
Right.
And then Gen 7 comes out.
Yeah, they changed his character, or just the art direction entirely.
And that goes for Brock and Misty too, because Brock and Misty were actually in an episode of Gen 7, and I watched that episode just because I was like, oh, they came back, so I was watching that episode. And they reverted back to their Gen 1 forms. I was like, okay.
Well, Brock, I think, made a cameo in Gen 5, but he didn't like meet Ash. It was kind of like, oh, I'm Brock. And
Misty also made one later. It was like that probably was Gen 4, right?
I think so. Sounds right.
And she looked older too. So
yeah. Well, what pisses me off is like then they go into Gen 5. It's like 10-year-old Ash. I mean, he's still fucking 10.
And then. Fucking Gen 7, they're like, I'm trying to become a Pokemon master. You've been trying to do that
You've been trying to do that for 20 years, dude. Something's not working out.
Yeah, clearly. Gary Oak probably is the best character in the anime. I'm not even lying.
Gary Oak, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he's just one of those characters I love to hate. Even in the games, like, well, he's blue in the games, but just that type of character where he's just a jerk, and he's a jerk 100% of the time.
He's a jerk, but look at him. He actually, I'm not trying to get, like, sensical with anime character, but he like through the years he grows as a character. It's so insane because he like in Gen 4 I think he beats Ash, and usually Gary Oak like
oh you suck, I'm Gary Oak.
That's the last time Gary is in the anime, I believe, is Gen 4.
I think so,
and or it might have been Black and White, I don't know. But yeah, he beats Ash for a final time, and it's barely, and Ash is like disappointed that he lost, and Gary's like, you're doing great, Ash. Keep trying, and you'll be good. And then, like, he like walks off into the sunset. He said, "I'm not looking to battle anymore. I've already submitted my legacy or whatever."
Yeah.
Which is insane because he's also like 10.
Yeah.
But
that's insane. Yeah. Yeah. Gary Oak was he's a fun character.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was
Fucking Gary, dude.
Gary. Yeah, well, even in the games, it's like in the first one, he's just that rival you love to hate.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you go into the gym and you look at the little statue and it's like, oh, he already fucking went here. So, and like usually in all the games, I name my rival Fucknut.
Assface.
Assface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a common one. Ass hat,
Yeah.
all sorts of things. But yeah, usually I go for Fucknut, and I was really disappointed with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I was like, they're not gonna let me do it.
Yep.
And so, unfortunately, Fricknut had to take his replacement. But
did they start that in Gen 4? Because I feel like
in Gen 4 you could name. No, he was still. Fucknut. Yeah, in Heart Gold Soul Silver.
I might be thinking of something else because I could have sworn your rival, the red hair guy, forget his name.
Silver.
Yeah, I guess it's Silver.
Was it Silver? I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember calling him anything nasty like I did in the past.
Well, I totally did.
But I felt like I couldn't. That's why I didn't. But I might have been able to.
Because they stopped naming your rivals in Gen 5. I think even in Gen 5 you could name them.
Okay.
Like
Gen 6, I know it's a no-go.
Yeah, no. Well, you couldn't even name your rival in either of those two games.
I will say this about Gen 6. You can name, like, your Pokemon Slave or whatever, like, for Slave HMs. I played fucking... Oh, it's not going to show, because I don't have the physical copy, but on my Switch, I have, fucking Brilliant
Diamond Shining Pearl?
I have Shining Pearl.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, let's catch a slave. By the way, you don't even need a slave.
You don't even need an HM slave.
I learned that later.
Right.
And so I caught like a fucking Bidoof.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, time for the name you slave. And there was like, you cannot use this name.
What the fuck?
And then I tried a Chugga Conroy thing. I don't know if you watch Chugga Conroy.
Yeah. Which?
Slavinator.
And
then it didn't work.
Damn
I was
it.
like, what the fuck?
It's pronounced Slavinator.
Yeah, it's Slavic.
It's always funny. I think that I don't get why you can't do that because it's like it's a single player game. Okay, I decided to name it that. Why can't I do that? Like I feel like they should at least let you name it that, but you can't show it online.
Slave's not nearly as bad as what you could possibly name. Like, out of all the possibilities.
My name for Barrel was hilarious in Gen 6. It was Kunta Kinte. So
that's pretty good.
Because I wanted to be on the nose about it. Because it's like, I don't know, I could name it just Slave, but whatever.
Yeah.
Kunta Kinte is funnier because you're like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, that's, I don't know, are you big into nicknaming your Pokemon? Or
yeah, I nickname all my Pokemon.
Oh, cool. I suck at nicknames. Like, usually it ends up being like Steve.
Jeff or
something.
I can't come up with anything, I literally am a cheater. I look it up. I look up
Really?
like good name suggestions. That's how I got like fucking I don't even remember some of my nicknames that I cheated to look up. It was like goddesses, like roaming goddesses for like a dark type or whatever. It's so stupid.
I think the best name that I've seen for a Pokemon, I didn't come up with this. It was I was watching A Drive and he was playing through Gen 1 and he picks Bulbasaur and he names it Asparagus and he calls it Gus for short. I thought that was hilarious.
That's pretty good.
I'm usually I try to nickname my Pokemon. I was playing through all of them from like Gen 4 onwards for a little bit. In the Gen 4 games I didn't nickname them, but in 5 I was like, whatever, I'll start nicknaming them.
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't know, I just picked really bad names. Like they were named like fucking like Tyler or something like that.
Yeah, just a bunch of basic names.
Yeah, it's like it's a real person's name.
I will say this. I always name, by the way, Squirtle is probably my favorite Pokemon of all time.
That's a good one.
And it's my favorite starter by far in Gen 1. I love Charmander and Bulbasaur, but I'll always name my Squirtle, and shoutouts to Grant, because he's the only one that gets this inside joke.
Okay.
But I name it Poeef. Poef. Poeef. Always just Poeef. That's what I name my Squirtle.
What's the joke?
You'd have to be there.
Poeef.
I'm sorry. It's something that happened freshman year.
I wouldn't get it.
And I've always, like, ever since that freshman year moment, I've always named my Squirtle Poeef.
Was it a noise that you made when something happened with
No,
water?
not necessarily. I'll tell Grant to watch this episode so he can have a laugh out of
that. Okay. That's okay.
It'll remain a mystery.
All right, yeah, whatever. Remains elusive. I don't have any like
significant
names
ones
like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I named a Sableye Skeet. I don't know. I just felt like Skeet felt right. It's my favorite Pokemon. I was like, yeah. Skeet.
Another good one is Aster Joe. That doesn't pertain to any particular Pokemon. Just Aster Joe. Aserjo.
Acer Joe?
Yeah.
Why?
Once again, it's the same thing as Poe.
God damn it.
And I was actually looking through my gallery the other day, and I was looking at the bowling stuff, like all the bowling stuff that we should go bowling again sometime.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But I was looking at the scoreboard. By the way, I got second, so I'm not as bad at bowling as everyone makes me out to be.
What? I'm the one that sucks at bowling.
We went bowling. The first time we ever went bowling, I got last, and I sucked. And then Paul was like, "Owen's the worst bowler in the world."
Dude, I'm way worse. I can guarantee.
And then I kind of stepped it up second time around, but my name on the scorecard was Acer Joe.
Okay.
And I was laughing my ass off.
Why are you laughing?
When
You wouldn't get it.
When I saw that. Yeah. Once again, only Grant gets that.
All right. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Inside jokes exist.
Yep. Do you have any inside jokes?
Not really, no.
I'm sorry.
I don't. I like
It's like that Michael Scott meme, like when Jim and his new boss are laughing, and then Michael's like, "Oh, I love inside jokes. I'd love to be a part of one someday."
It's very relatable. Now, no, I don't know. I'm probably a part of some inside jokes. I'd have to hear them to remember.
Yeah.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but no, I probably
We might have some inside jokes, just you and me. Maybe.
maybe.
I don't know.
Is there something? Because I feel like there's totally something
Probably
I could say that only a few people would get.
I will say, I probably, out of all the people, I have the most with Holden, and a lot of people know
Probably.
that. Just because, I don't even know why, but like, Holden and I, we have this innate ability that very few have
Mhm.
to like make each other laugh on cue.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
how
you
we
just
could do
give
that.
each other that look, and it's like.
Yeah, like I do that with anyone, and it's not the
Or
same.
okay, no. Here's what we do, right? Okay, here's what we have perfected is that me, you, and Holden.
Yep.
Conversations going on, all right, and they're talking. We look at each other. Oh, really?
Exactly, and that's what we're. And I feel so bad because we did this to you, episode like 5 or some shit.
Yeah.
I remember this distinctly. Like you and Grant were having an in-depth conversation, and then Holden and I were just staring at each other, and we kept laughing. We couldn't keep it together.
Yeah, because what it does is it makes everyone go like, "What the hell are you laughing at?"
Hell, we could
Just keep going. Just keep going.
We could even did that. I think we might have even did that when Brooks was on. Brooks was like telling a story. We were very. This is the most Holden has ever paid attention I've ever seen him in my life when Brooks was on, because like we respect Brooks that much.
Yeah, he has a very deep admiration for Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone does.
Everyone does.
it's
He's the best.
But even like here and there, Holden and I would just. It's just weird. I don't understand. Like, because I never experienced that like type of relationship with somebody.
Attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't pick up on it that much. I don't know. You were staring at him the whole time, probably.
That's
so.
true. Like, I guess it is easier to pick up on from someone who's like right across from me as
Mhm.
opposed to like right here or right there.
Yeah.
You guys can't see that. So worry about it.
No,
Oh well.
nothing we can do about it.
Get over it, pussies.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I think inside jokes are funny. Yeah, they're just fun, especially when someone's talking. You just go, yeah.
Yep.
Because we'll like repeat it, but like in a condescending, like
Yeah.
joking tone, and it's just the funniest thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
someone could be like, "Yeah, dude, I went to the grocery store."
Just the tone of voice you use, like that's everyone in the group though, like that little
Oh yeah.
yeah that just I
if
think that
we're
makes everybody
impersonating somebody, it's always that
Yeah.
voice, no matter what.
dude, that's like
Because I think it's the one voice that just pisses people off. Because it's like
for
that's
some reason
it's just an oaf sounding like dumb.
especially when you're trying to be serious.
Yeah.
Like a big example is Chase during like his filming or whatever. We would always do that. Like, he's
Yeah.
like, all right, you're gonna be here for the scene.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here for the scene.
Well, because it can take anything. Like if I'm like, dude, yeah, I was filing my tax returns. Just filing your tax returns. It's like I don't know. It's some voice that is just very dumb, oaf sounding, and it makes everything sound really funny no matter what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of like filming and stuff, we are having a big project. This is mainly between Grayson and Holden. They're
Mhm.
directing a movie.
Yes.
We talked about it a bit last week on the episode Holden was on.
Mhm.
But Grayson knows more about it than I do. It's not going to go on this channel. It'll go on another channel, but
Yeah.
we'll link it when it
Mhm.
comes out. Planning on having a bunch of people for it.
Mhm.
It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
So that'd be cool. And then kind of reflecting off of that movie idea, we also intend to do more for this channel, as in like as far as skits and like just little shenanigans go. We could record something this weekend if people were available, but
Yeah, I don't know when Holden's back. If you want to wait for him, I think
Oh.
the 9th.
yeah, we could wait for Holden, but we could do something.
We could just do something. Yeah, that's
It doesn't really matter. But...
Yeah, well, yeah. Holden and I, we've been talking.
Hell, you could do shit without me on this channel. I don't care.
I don't know how that would happen. I don't have the login or anything.
Holden has the login.
All right, yeah. Well, whatever. You guys are.
Whatever.
I don't care.
What did that remind me of? Like the way you did that.
I put my hand.
Fucking George Costanza.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I put my hands up in the air like George Costanza.
I don't even remember what he says in that GIF.
I couldn't remember. It was that one that we sent in the chat. Now that's an inside joke right there.
That's an inside joke.
Putting GIFs of.
Hell,
we talked about this in the Brooks episode where we would send GIFs of characters and we would assign characters to ourselves. And well, the best one, and this reminded me when we went through, because you went through one of our old chats, and then I did this around the same time. And the thing that I was like, oh shit, was when I saw us where we'd send our good night gifts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Holden, Owen, and I, we each had a good night gift that we would send in our chats. And this, because we'd stay up super late.
We were super loserly.
We were losers, and we would send gifts to the chat as like our way of saying, all right, we're logging off for the night. And yeah, I did a salute there. And Owen's was Captain America saluting, and
Classic.
I think I came next. You would always do the salute first.
Yeah.
I would come next with Turkey Kramer.
Yep.
And
Seinfeld.
then Holden would come in with the Seinfeld dance with like all of us.
Holden and Grayson would do Seinfeld. I'd do Captain America.
I didn't even think about that we both did Seinfeld and you did Captain America.
Just completely different from both of you.
Whatever. It was tradition.
Yeah.
You know.
It's true.
Yeah, it was that was a fun time.
And the one time, like, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Selby, like, ruined it or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were, like, yelled at him. Strike one.
Yeah, we started doing strikes for people that would mess around in our chats.
So
I think, like, Jared
got the most of it.
We were like, all right, Jared, strike one. And we'd kick them from the chat for a little bit, and then they'd come back. Like, I didn't even want to come back to the chat. But yeah, that was fun.
I was reading some DMs also. It was the... I don't even remember what chat it was, but like we added James and he talked for a bit and then you removed him and then he was like, why did Grayson remove me? And I was like, oh, I have no idea. Do you want me to add you back? And he was like, I don't care. I was like, okay, I had you back then.
Well, it just became a joke where we'd add James and remove him. And I think there came a point where we added like Bryant, he was in there, and we did it and he's like, why do you guys keep kicking James? And I feel like that was like the breaking point of it all. And I was like, I'm not kicking him, I'm punching him. And then he's like, wow, real funny. And he's like, thanks, I'll be here all week. Yeah, it's just, I didn't really...
Yeah, you don't give a shit.
It's what, you kick him from a chat.
That's true,
it's like, we have how many chats? And that was a chat about something stupid anyway that we're going to throw away in a week.
Recently I was thinking of purging all the chats, but then I was scrolling through even fucking freshman year chats, and I was like, I don't want to purge this. Sure, these are really fucked up chats that we had, but...
Speaking of chats, I want to talk about something in a second.
Go, okay. Yeah, but these are really fucked up chats we had, but I don't really want to purge it because it's like...
There's history there.
Yeah, there's history, and like just to reflect on it, even like 10 years down the line, if you look back at this and you're like, what the fuck?
Wow, I would never say that nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, going off of what I was going to say. So Grant messages me. This is like 3 a.m. I don't know why the hell he's up at 3 a.m. but I'm doing something, and he messages me, and he sends me a screenshot of Skype, and
he sent me something.
He sent a Skype chat, and I was like, where the hell did you get that? And he's like, I just got this new computer and it automatically installed Skype, and I saw this. And so he starts going through the logs of like the Skype chat.
Yep.
And he sent me all sorts of shit that we sent to like each other, and some really bad shit that I said that he said and all that.
Yeah.
And so it made me want to go back and get it myself, just so I could. I don't use Skype ever. I haven't used it since probably freshman year. So I wanted to check it out and see what exactly was on there. And one of them was like, it was so surreal to like read things that you sent so long ago that you haven't seen in so long.
I've been doing that a lot recently.
Yeah. And it's like, because you make jokes that's like, I shouldn't make a joke about that nowadays. And, you know, you reflect on how much you've matured and how much things have changed. And it was surreal to see me send a message when I was in freshman year, dating this girl that like I dated for like probably like 8 months from like the bridge between freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, you know, I was talking to Grant, because Grant was fucking unhinged freshman year. Like, he's kind of weird now, but like he was weird back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't have any classes in freshman year.
I didn't either. I had lunch with him, and that's how I think that's how I knew him. But he was like insane. And so he would like bite people.
Oh yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
I had class.
This is gonna make the episode with Grant be like, oh my god.
I had.
We should ask him about that.
I had 4 out of 7 classes was in 7th grade.
I'm so sorry for you.
It's fine. It might have been 5. Yeah, the only 2 classes was first period and last period that I didn't have with them. Had them all in the middle. We had some fun moments in 7th grade. We have a lot of inside jokes between us from those that year. But a lot of bad and a lot of like dumb fights that we had, and especially one that happened, a fight that happened junior year. It might have been in between sophomore and junior year. We had a fight and we didn't talk for a year.
Wow.
So, and that's just how it goes with Grant sometimes.
Was it just like one of those petty kind of?
It's petty. It was petty. I don't even remember what the fight was about. But it goes both ways. It wasn't all Grant. I'm pretty petty sometimes as well. That's just how I am. But
it's all good.
Oh well.
Back to Grant biting people. So
he would do that. Yeah,
he would do that a lot. And I remember he did it to me one time. We were at driver's ed together, and I was sitting in class, and he like murmured something to me. I'm like, what? And he just bites me. He's like, why did you do that? He's like, dude, I told you I was gonna bite you. I was like, don't fucking bite me, dude. Like, but so he did that to my girlfriend at the time, though. God. And she told me about it, and I'm like, yeah, he does that. And then someone was like overhearing our conversation. He's like, normal people don't bite people. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I should talk to him about that. And so then I was like, hey, Grant. And I sent him this message.
Have an intervention?
Not an intervention. I wasn't like pissed at him, oddly enough. Because he was a close friend of mine. Probably, we were really...
BFFs, baby.
Not BFFs, but we were pretty close back in freshman year. We've had our ups and downs since then, but I say we're pretty chill now. And I sent him a message like, "Hey, yo, Grant, I'm gonna be a little serious now." And this is like the first serious message I think I've ever sent like anyone in the group. And I'm like, I'm dating this girl, and she thinks that you're like, kind of weird. I'm not saying you gotta not be you, because I know naturally you're all weird and stuff.
Why are you Ashton Kutcher from Dude, Where's My Car?
Dude, where's But yeah, so I sent him like something like that, and his response was, I don't think, very heartfelt at all. I was half expecting, because that's just like how our messages went, was just we'd send something weird and get something weird back. But he was just, I don't know. It was like he didn't really listen, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right, whatever. And I did not cry at all. I was like, this is a terrible like way to confront somebody about something.
I will say, whatever you did, it worked, because Grant has gotten a lot better about not biting people.
I don't even think I mentioned the biting thing. I think I just said like...
All I know is that like after 7th grade, I didn't have any classes with him up until junior year. So it was like a 3-year dry streak. And that year he didn't bite anyone. He was like kind of to himself more, which is definitely a good thing. And definitely a good thing. But
it's definitely a good thing to not bite people.
I feel like I feel like a lot of people in our group in particular have like a lot of bad habits that they've gotten a lot better of overcoming.
Yeah.
Myself and yourself as well.
Yeah.
And it's just good. It's good to see.
One habit I hate was I was rewatching our episode with Brooks, and this irritated the fuck out of me. I said probably like 5 times. 5 times every sentence, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
You're not nearly as bad, because I didn't notice it. If I notice it, it's bad. Paul.
Really?
Yeah. Shoutouts to Paul. You say like so many fucking times.
Like dude. You're from the valley.
Exactly. I don't know. Every time he drags on too. Like with every story he tells, he like drags on.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, but every sentence he says like.
Well, I was in the Brooks episode. Bad, and
I didn't notice that. Well, I didn't watch it, but
I rewatched it, and I guess in a normal conversation you don't really recognize it.
That's true.
But when I was rewatching it, and you notice your own speech patterns the most, and you pick up on things you tend to say more. And
all I'll say is
it's one of those filler words that
definitely
it distracted me when I was trying to make a point.
Like I feel like I say a lot.
Yeah, I do that too, but I feel like that's less distracting. It's more of a sound than a word.
That's
because I tend to listen to most of the words in a sentence. If I hear a word in a sentence, usually I pick up on it, and if I hear like over and over again, especially from me, not really from other people, but for myself.
Yeah.
I was.
All I'll say is next time we have like it's you, me, and Paul talking, just notice it. Like
Okay, yeah.
and I'll like look at you like. See?
I'll listen. I haven't noticed that, but now that I think of our conversations, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's. Yeah, picking up on your own speech patch, but yeah, it was funny though when I was looking through those Skype chats.
Fucking Skype, man.
It was weird because we would say boneless pizza a lot.
Oh, that's from that Grant. Yeah, that's a Grant thing, by the way.
Well, that was weird. Grant and I were talking about it. We were like, "What the fuck is going on with this boneless pizza thing that we see in everything?"
I remember it.
I remember the meme was very popular, but it was something that I had no recollection of saying boneless pizza over and over again.
Grant talked about it a lot. I'll say that. Like that was his favorite meme at one point. That's why
Really?
That's why Grant talks about it a lot. By the way, the thing that you said of how he sent you those things last night at 3 a.m. He sent me them too.
Okay, cool.
And then it was me flipping off the camera.
Yeah.
And
that's an iconic photo.
That's one of them. I'm trying to think of the other two. He sent me 3. The Indiana Jones one on Halloween.
Yeah.
Same year, by the way, but I look a lot older in this one.
Yeah,
I look
you do.
So young in the Indiana Jones one.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the third one, I can't even remember. The third one didn't involve me, but it involved other people. But I can't remember. And then at like 8 a.m, I was awake because I dropped my brother off at school. And then Grant texted me saying, "I have your sleep schedule. I just woke up." He was up at 5 a.m. I was like, that's pretty much my sleep schedule.
Well, he was messaging me at like 3 a.m. and then he's like, "Yeah, I gotta wake up like in like 2 hours." I'm like, "Why the hell are you like doing this?" But it was really funny though because you see our last chat was called "Get Discord, guys," and I basically said, "Yo, get Discord.
Oh yeah.
Skype sucks ass." And like very few people did.
Mm-hmm.
I think me, Jared, and Holden started like our own chat.
That's cool.
And then I found the link, and fortunately it was still active, so I joined because I don't have my old Discord because I activated the 2-factor authentication on it, and now I can't get in. Did you have that?
I think that exact same thing happened
That
to me.
shit pisses me off how you can't go back into.
I just made a new account.
That's what I did too, but I was disappointed because same here. But I was disappointed because I lost some chats that I was in, especially that one. I was really bummed about that because I really just wanted to go back and see that chat.
Definitely.
So being able to actually do that was really cool.
How quick were you on the Discord parade? When did you get Discord?
I think we made that chat June of 2017.
June 2017.
And I think I definitely had Discord before we made the chat.
Okay.
So probably early 2017 around there.
Yeah. I think that might be around the time, maybe a bit before. I think we got it in late 2016. We use Skype religiously.
Mm-hmm.
And then James and Nick, they were like my best friends freshman year. Don't know what happened. They like reached out to me because we use Skype all the time, and they sent a message. They were like, "Yeah, James and I have been using." Nick sent the message. He was like, "James and I have been using Discord the past week, and you should try it out because it's way better than Skype, and we can actually hear you a lot better." So I was like, "All right." So I did Skippy. I called it Skippy. To Dick Sword.
Dick Sword, yeah.
Dumb nicknames for each respective browsing service. Not browsing service, but voice chat service.
I guess communication thing.
And Skype's been a thing since 2002, so...
Yeah. Well, Skype was the go-to thing for a long time. But,
for like 15, 16 years.
But the rise of gaming and just Skype kind of became like the boomer thing to use.
Which is insane to think about.
Yeah. Because we use that a lot.
Yep.
To just talk. And we made... Well, it was complicated because in Discord... In Discord, you have servers and like channels within the servers.
Absolutely.
But in Skype, it's just you make like a chat, and whoever's in the chat's in the chat, and that sort of thing. It's like having one channel in the server.
Absolutely.
So.
All right, we're back.
I don't know what's going on here.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we were just talking about Discord and how. Do you know how long that was out for? Like
just a second.
Okay. Yeah, we were just talking about how Discord's superior to Skype and like how they the channels are a lot better for it than just as opposed to Skype having one channel. Grayson said that, or it would be like having one channel in Discord for Skype. So yeah, Discord's a lot better than Skype. It's an obvious conclusion that we came to.
Obviously, yeah.
Also, another thing, we used, this was primarily me, Holden, Jared, and Grant. We used Kik a lot back in the day. And then we found Instagram.
Yeah.
Or we didn't find Instagram. Jared found Instagram. Jared was the one who found it. And Grant was like, I'm not getting Instagram. And he got it like way later.
Yeah.
And Holden and I got it at the same time. And Holden claims to have had an account years before that Nate White made for him. Shout out to Nate White.
Okay.
But yeah, Kik was we put like 100 hours on Kik.
Wow.
Before we switched to Skype, just a bunch of gibberish we spoke.
Yeah.
And then we would switch to Instagram and did chats. That was fun.
Which is kind of what we don't really do now because it's more just one chat. But
the era of chats that we had on Instagram, that's kind of what it was with Kik, but the freshman mindset type deal.
I wonder what the mentality was behind creating so many chats, because there were times where it was warranted, where it was like, let's make a chat for this get together that, you know, some people are going to be part of, not everybody.
Like that's what Aiden and Paul and other people do. They do it like for like Aiden's bonfire, or Paul's like, you guys ready for the watch party of the Super Bowl or whatever?
Yeah.
You're not in that chat, but like that's just a bunch of examples. A lot of times when I make a chat, I do it as a meme. I'm like, oh, they're going to get so mad when I make a chat.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we don't really do it anymore, but I think for sure it was a time, like there was a period of time where me, you, and Holden would be like, all right, let's add everybody in the chat, get the whole, fuck you guys, stop making so many chats, and then like call it at that.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And then another one in particular, that was kind of special to me. I made it because I was in a lot of chats, very few without Holden. So I made a chat without Holden, and it was for a surprise party. Yeah. And that was probably my favorite chat. Nothing against Holden being in the chat at all.
Yeah, the deafening silence.
No, nothing about that at all. Nothing has nothing to do with Holden, but just the fact the planning was some of the most fun I've had. Yeah. For that party.
Even though it was like, hey, I'm moving, or I'm going out tomorrow.
Yeah, that was a huge thing. Yeah. Like we had this whole plan set out for a particular day, and then Holden said, oh, I'm actually leaving the day before. And then we were like, fuck, we have to move everything back a day. And then luckily most people were able to go. I think one person wasn't able to.
Chase, I think.
No, Chase was there.
Was he there? No, he wasn't.
Never mind,
I remember he said something.
So yeah, Chase wasn't there, and I think Chase called Holden and talked to him, which was good. Yeah. But yeah, everybody else was there, which was awesome.
Even Chris.
Yeah, we got Chris Segala, and that's Holden's
legend
BFF. So
we got to get him on.
Yeah, Holden was gonna get him on last week, but he shit the bed literally. He woke up in the morning, he saw a big turd on the side.
Oh wow!
So he had to run to the Home Depot. I don't know.
You know, it was convincing until you said that.
Until I said the Home Depot part, not the shit in the bed thing.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. That's if you guys get Chris on, have me on.
We'll try. We'll see we'll try to pull some strings.
Yeah, I think
like having you on.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I just want to. First of all, it's been a while since I've talked to Chris, but I think it'd just be a fun time. Yeah, because you'd have two musicians on.
True. Yeah, Grayson does have more in common with Brooks and Chris. That's why we have Grayson on for those particular episodes. He also has a lot more in common with Grant, in my opinion.
Thanks, God. No, I'm just kidding.
That's why we had Grayson on for the Grant, Brooks, and we're gonna have him on for Chris's episode as well, just because the dynamic him and Grant have kind of balances out the dynamic Holden and I have. And then he knows Brooks a lot better than Holden and I do. We kind of just look up to Brooks, but Grayson is like, he was there with him, you know, a lot more than,
a couple of times
than we were. And then Chris more so than Brooks. No, it's fine. This is the one that's dimmed. Okay, luckily you're good.
I'm catching up.
Yeah. At least you didn't do this like Holden does. He's done that like 4 times.
Taps the screen and fucks it all up. Brooks did it though, didn't he?
No, Brooks didn't. Brooks was like, "What's going on here?" And then Holden was like, "Oh, you could do this."
Okay, yeah. No, because I hung out with Chris and I knew each other throughout high school. Really. Yeah. I think Holden met him a little bit later.
I never met Chris up until we went to Scioto Metro Park, and we just walked.
Yeah.
And that's when I met Chris. And Chris was like, "Oh, I'm Chris, by the way." I was like, "Yeah, Owen. Nice to meet you." That was like after senior year.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even during senior year.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because I met him in like when I was in band,
Yeah.
which would have been before freshman year even started. And so yeah, we met there. We just kind of clicked because we were both into memes at the time.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's super cool.
The first impression he got of me was kind of an asshole because we were all in the car and you know me, I'm a fucking dirtbag. So I had the whole bag of Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
Rolled down my window, threw it out. It was right in front of a park ranger, and then Selby was in the shotgun. He got out, picked it up, threw it in the trash, and the cop kind of waved there was litter there, so he's picking it up. So it looked like we didn't even throw anything out at all. So he didn't see anything that we did. So that's good. And everyone was pissed at me. So
I would be. I was like, shit, why would you throw the Taco Bell at
No,
them?
you know me. Like, that's what I do all the time. In cars, you do not want me being the passenger in a car, because that's easily what I'll do. If somebody hands me something, I'm throwing it out of the car. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm throwing it out.
Hold my phone for a second?
Literally, when we were in Connor's Tahoe, this was recently, like a few weekends ago, or like 2 weekends ago. It was like 2 weeks ago. We were like driving to a place that we couldn't even go to because it was closed. Or it was full. We went to a place like 30 minutes away. It was full, and then we went back. God. It was a mess, and then I went to bed and didn't eat anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't know about that. I slept. Oh, you know that I slept, but I came upstairs. I was like, oh, I get to have some Papa John's. It was all gone.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll just have some of Connor's steak when you guys all left, and I had some of Connor's steak.
Okay, cool.
So I did eat that night.
Good.
But yeah, that was a whole mess. But in the Tahoe, like, you guys were throwing around, like, I don't even know if it was newspapers or whatever. It was like newspapers or I think it was like a newspaper or like paper or whatever. You were in the far back. Yeah. But Jared was like throwing it around. I was like, hey, let me see that for a second. And then Jared hands it to me. I rolled out the window and throw it out. And Connor's like, you picked that up right now. And I was like, all right, sorry, Dad.
Yeah, Connor's the dad.
He got so stern with me.
Pick that up right now. That's funny. Yeah.
Because we were parked. I did not, like, I usually throw it out as we're moving, but we were parked outside of Planks, and I was like, all right, time to throw this out. And then he was like, we're parked, you pick it up.
Yeah, what did we have? Yeah, it was like the thing that they grabbed from the inside. Like, they grabbed a menu or something. Not even a menu, it was like one of those pamphlets they have at
the pamphlets.
And so, I think that's what you threw
That's
out.
easily what it was. And I was sick, like, this is what happens. I, like, get sick of something get thrown around. I'm like, all right, I'll handle this.
Well, I do too. I'm like, can we stop acting like children? But I don't throw it out the fucking window.
Luckily, no. I will say, throwing it out the window works because everyone's like, they like get serious. They're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't throw it around because Owen's gonna grab it and throw it out the window.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm always like, because I guess it's one of those things I've never picked up on, but subconsciously I have. Where I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna throw that one.
It's kind of like my thing. I don't know.
Let me see that. Yeah, you always say, "Let me see that." You throw it out the window.
It's so funny. I get a kick out of it.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, that's fun.
Good
but
times.
Yeah. I think I'll talk about the movie. A little bit.
A little more. Yeah, since you know more about it.
Yeah, because Holden and I we've been talking a little bit about we're gonna make like a skit channel or something. But I think this is kind of what that's evolved into. We started talking in the car about making a movie, and we kind of just had some ideas for it. So Holden makes like a Google Doc, and he puts like this just a slight plot in there. I'm like, I got some ideas. So then I make my own doc, and I start typing, and I end up having to copy and paste the entire plot of the movie I had written into our Google Doc.
That's fun.
And so I'm like, yeah, is this good or not? He's like, that's like damn near perfect. So the movie is kind of like an 80s action movie. So there's gonna be a lot of cliches and fun stuff about the 80s in there. I'm not gonna give too much away right now, but we're gonna probably start filming here soon, and I don't know when it'll be out, but we're working on it, and it'll be really fun. I'm working on the soundtrack for it, so a lot of 80s inspired goodness in there, just all aspects of production. So
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty cool production. We're gonna get a lot of people involved in filming, so
and more importantly, I'm involved. So
yes, you will be involved in a lot of ways. So it'll be fun. We're still working out a script. We don't have that really figured out. We have all the plot written out. I guess I'm just giving an insider update on the production side of things, but we're working on making it come to fruition, and it'll be really fun.
So yeah, another plan I had with getting a lot of people for this particular episode, I was planning on having like 6 for this one episode after the original plan didn't work out. What I was going to do is have a podcast with all of us, and then we were going to film something, and I had a whole sketch planned out.
Yeah.
But the problem is we needed Nate for the sketch because it kind of centers around Nate.
Do we beat him up?
Not necessarily. But the sketch revolves around Nate. Unfortunately, he's in West Virginia.
That complicates things a little bit.
So that kind of ruined everything. So I kind of was like, all right, throw the sketch out the window. We'll do it some other time. It's a pretty funny sketch. Basically, he's not allowed into a party. That's pretty much what it is.
Which is how it should be.
Yeah. And it's fun, like just some... I'm not going to get into it because in case we do it later.
Right. Yeah, you don't want
to spoil it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny.
Yep.
Or the idea of it is.
Yeah.
And I was gonna have Jacob as like the bodyguard type deal.
Oh
like
yeah.
a big bodyguard.
Yeah, yeah. that's pretty funny. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, with the movie, I'm currently working on the soundtrack a little bit while Holden's gone because there's not much else I can really do.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so working on that. It's really fun making stuff that sounds like it's from the 80s.
Yeah.
And just getting inspired, putting myself in that headspace. So I've finished for the most part one track, and yeah. So I think we've talked about like what types of songs you want to have in it, and obviously we have the plot written out, so we know what scenes are going to necessitate which type of music that I create. Because it was initially going to be Holden wanted a lot of like songs that are 80s and remixes and stuff like that. I'm like, let me just do it.
Yeah,
just put it in my hands. Like, all right, I trust you. And so yeah, it's been really fun just working on even what little I have so far. I don't know how. I think he's gone for another 5 days or something.
Probably
4 or 5.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, get that fucker out of here.
Just kidding, obviously.
Yeah, no, we love Holden. But yeah, we're working out that and working on music's fun. What?
Nothing. Just assholes outside the house.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna pick up, but that pisses me off.
Yeah, I hate people that drive.
Same.
That's
walk.
Yeah. Just start blaring my soundtrack out, and it'll be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. We're planning on having some, 80s sounding stuff in there. So.
Yeah, we have a lot more planned for the summer as well. When a lot of people, summer is when a lot of more people are available.
Mm-hmm.
So especially with the podcast as well, we'll have a lot more guests on for all those particular weeks that are during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have a lot more sketches as well for this channel. And then obviously the movie, I think we're filming around the summer, right? Or like around spring or sometime.
Spring. I think Holden said we're going to try to film sometime this month, actually.
Sometime this month. So yeah.
If we get all the props and stuff figured out, I think by mid-April he said we should be done because I don't think we're going to spend too much time filming things.
So yeah, look out for that update video around mid-April for that particular movie, and then also a bunch of sketches. We could start sketches. We'll throw out sketches every so often. It'll be random when we upload them. Obviously, the podcast comes out every Tuesday, but yeah, just look out for that and a lot of fun stuff in the future. But do you have anything else you want to say, or?
No, just movie's going good, and it's being made, so
that's good.
It'll be fun when it comes out. We'll let you know. So.
But yeah, hopefully you guys look forward to that, and yeah, see you guys next week.
See ya.